guys, welcome back to the Fumble Live. It's Wednesday. I think it is Wednesday, right? It's Hump Day. Yes, you guys, we're getting into the latest news. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, everybody? Jackie Ray here. You can follow me on all things social media at Jerry the Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's your girl Britt. You can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. I see Chris with that smirk because he knows he isn't blurry today. He passed it on to Devin. She now has the disease.
No idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. No
Chris,
comment.
Chris.
No comment.
Right? You just put it so smoother today.
Clear Chris. He's clear Chris.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Chris, what's up?
I do have the board today, which means I must have some conspiracy that I'm going to be sharing or something. There's some reason I'm blurred today, so we'll figure it out. I don't know what it is. I wish I could tell you.
The blur too. I should have been quiet.
Oh no! It's slowly passing.
Okay, you guys, let's get into the news today. So the NBA and the NBPA have reportedly informed teams of the guidelines for players to bring guests inside the bubble following the first round of the playoffs. According to Woj, a memo sent to NBA teams on Wednesday said players will be allowed to invite family members and established long-standing personal friends. Woj added that each player will be allowed to bring in 4 guests, although the number can be exceeded for children. Also, the guests will be permitted to travel on team charters after testing negative for COVID-19, and they will be allowed to attend games in person. So the memo did describe a person who is not permitted to enter the bubble as any individual the player has not previously met in person or with whom the player has had limited in-person interactions. For example, known by the player through social media or in intermediaries. So they're obviously trying to put the kibosh on anybody sliding into the DMs of Insta models and inviting them to the bubble. I don't know how they're going to prove that. That's, I guess, my question. And
right.
What I wanted to ask you, Britt, since it does seem difficult to prove if they've actually spent a lot of time with that person or whatever, I want to know, which athletes do you think will actually be successful in sneaking in some sort of IG model despite the rules put in place?
Well, clearly Donovan Mitchell has already done that, apparently. So we heard Chris's video. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's any way. There's literally no way you can prove that at all. Like, it's like so silly, but it's like, obviously they're basically saying, hey, don't bring a side chick, bring like a real family member or your TT or like whatever it is, like, or your girlfriend. But I mean, guys are going to bring who they're going to bring. I think it's just, I want to say the NBA is trying to let the players know, like, listen, if you end up not liking this girl, you can't just send her home tomorrow and then get another person to come in. So you gonna be stuck with this person, or you don't get nobody in replace of this person. So I think that's really the goal here, is trying to make sure that like they're not having people continue to come in and out. And it's like, whoever you put as your 4 people, these are your 4 people. So I think that's the main thing, because they don't want to start like just because it costs the NBA money to have these people then come in and quarantine them and then take these tests. That's costing money. So they're not going to waste money if then you're going to send the chick home after the first day because you didn't like her. I remember I had Matt Barnes on my personal show, Brunching with Britt, before, and he said he met a girl in the DMs, and then when the girl pulled up to the house, he acted like he wasn't home because he looked through the peephole and it didn't look like the same girl that was in the picture.
That is trifling.
Man, I just did. I didn't answer the door, and she was like banging on the. So I think the NBA is trying to make sure that doesn't happen in the bubble, where they paid all this money to have somebody come out here, and then freaking Anthony Davis has a boo. Donovan Mitchell is hiding in the corner talking about, I don't know her, I didn't invite her. You know, I just think it's going to be, they don't want that situation, but it should be funny. It's going to be interesting at least.
That would be a very sticky situation, not only for the players, but also for the NBA to have to deal with that. So that's a very good point. I was surprised that they're letting in even long-standing personal friends. Like, I would think that it would just be family and children, and that's it. So I'm actually surprised about the friends situation.
Well, a lot
Jackie,
of the players don't have families or booze. Like, a lot of them don't have those situations. Like they literally don't. Like, I would say a good 60 to 70% of the league ain't even married, you know? Like, they don't have those kind of situations. They have a baby mom. They probably don't like their baby mom or whatever. They have, you know, people's mamas have works and jobs still, so they can't just like drop everything and leave. So usually it's those. And that's what I meant by TT. I don't know if you guys ever used to watch the game, but there was the friend.
Oh, TT, yeah. Terrence, yeah.
And so I call guys that are friends and athletes that low-key live in the house with them and, you know, are taken care of by the athlete. That's their TT. Right. So this is room for TTs to come in.
I didn't even catch that yet. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I love the game.
Jackie, I want to ask you, do you feel like opening up the bubble to friends and family is risky, or do you think that the protocols put in place will help keep the campus COVID-free?
I mean, I don't think it's risky. I think it's a good idea, actually, to have, you know, some people in there to keep these people occupied. Because, you know, at some point you get tired of staring at the same old faces all the time. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like it'd be easy to prove that these are just give me your phone. And if you don't have messages from this person from 8 months ago, they can't get in. You know, not DMs, text messages. Like, if they don't have your actual cell phone number and you ain't been texting for 8 months, and not just what's up, what it do, slide through. Like, if you haven't been having some real conversations on this damn text message, and you can't get in. But I really don't care what these people do to, you know, if the Lakers need to fly everybody on the planet in to make them feel better and look better on the court, then fly everybody in the damn planet in. I really don't care what they do. Because like Britt said yesterday, it looks like Portland's about to get that number 8 spot. Dame's looking mad as hell. If we need Instagram models to help us over that hump, get these Instagram models in the bubble. Figure it out, y'all. But do what you got to do to be happy. I really don't care. As long as everybody's quarantining and taking the test, I really don't care what they do in the bubble.
All right. And then Chris,
right now, FYI, they have it.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, if they lose, and then the Grizzlies and the Suns win, and there's a 3-way tie, so we're going to have another little issue. But yeah.
Play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see, low-key. I would love to see a play-in tournament. That would be amazing. But I just think now that
there's I think the Fire.
Yeah, but I think the Fire is still going to go with Portland, to be honest. Probably. So all of my energy is towards figuring out how to throw some water on this Dame Fire.
You gotta make Dame happy.
Oh man,
one person
that's what I said.
Is Dame's baby mom. You want her in the bubble to make Dame happy, so Dame doesn't play as well anymore. That's what you want.
That's exactly what I said yesterday on the NBA recap. I said everybody on the Lakers needs to go to Amazon, find every gift set, go on Dame's social media, see what he kind of does. Send him everything he wants and needs in this damn bubble. And then send it again via an IG model. I don't know. I don't care. Just get it to him.
All right. Well, Chris, before we move on to the next update or next story, I want to ask you, how do you think having friends and family in the bubble will impact athletes and the games? They're allowed to go to the games now in person. Is it going to change the dynamic? Is it going to be more motivation? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it can only help, especially if the people decide, or some of the players decide to use it, use that invite the right way. Yeah, it could definitely help out. Like, and Britt just used perfectly. I didn't even think to use, like, if, you know, some people use it on, like, bringing in their TTs, bringing in their homies rather than bringing in a side chick or whatever. You know, if they use it correctly, that could be all some of these players need. Maybe all Dane Green needed is for his girl to come, for him to start making shots again. Who knows? Like, you never know the kind of motivation that some of these players might need. So I think it's a good idea as long as they're doing it the right way, which they seem like they will be, keeping everything safe and don't infiltrate the bubble. Now, like Jackie said, I can care less as long as everybody's good and we get good basketball continuing into the playoffs. That's all I care about. But we know that some of these dudes going to slip in the side chicks, and I don't know what's going to happen. We might have some Katia situations where that trading might be happening. I don't know. But all I know is as long as, you know, everybody's safe and there ain't no COVID in the bubble, then I don't care. I'm good with it.
Hey.
I
Katya's
am a
going to
little
come back
concerned
in
about-
and ruin Cruz's life.
Man, I'm
Right.
saying so many situations could happen.
Right. I am a little concerned about them being able to watch the game because it's a very limited number of people that can sit in there. And like someone myself, I am loud as hell. So if you have 2 or 3 people like me, but there's only 2 or 3 people that are loud as hell, you can hear specifically what I'm saying. Specifically,
It should be limited to home team.
I'm a little concerned about. Yeah, but I still need some sort of background noise to block out that one person who's like me and loud, because that's just going to be distract. You don't have the other crowd noise to block out that one.
But that's
crazy
perfect. That's
fan.
what I'm saying.
You know
If you
what I'm
limit it to home team where
That's
the Lakers are home and then the whole
limited.
James gang comes and like it's just Laker family members that come through, I think that's fair. I mean, that's about as close as you're going to get to real life home court advantage. I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
And then all it is you just like an Oklahoma City fan compared to somebody else who's like a Suns fan. Like you just louder, so
Right.
you're going to be more of an advantage for whoever you're there for. And I think they should just keep it that way for the home team so we have some kind of home court advantage.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. They're going to be showing up after the first round of playoffs, so I guess we'll figure out who the loudest fans are and how that
Right.
impacts the game. Let's get into our next news story. Right on topic with the Insta models that we've been talking about. So Jack Flaherty, that's hard for me to say, of the St. Louis Cardinals apparently doesn't care about the uptick in positive COVID tests among MLB players. He appears to not be taking his quarantine and isolation seriously, as he kind of got exposed for flying an Insta model out to see him. So this is from Swipe Sports. They wrote, quote, "You know how St. Louis Cardinals baseball team has corona cases and their season on pause right now? Well, their star ace pitcher is holed up in his crib tonight with a girl he flew out tonight while he's supposed to be quarantined. They have 16 cases of corona and games canceled, and he brought a chicken on a flight. She might be bringing the corona with her. Go peep her Insta stories showing she flew from New Jersey to St. Louis tonight, and stories he posted at his crib. He's putting his whole team and the MLB at risk just for some love." So she did have some stories up. I went and actually checked just a little bit ago, and practically everything has been deleted, probably because she got called out for it. Her name is Rachel. She's a very cute girl. I don't really have any specific about this, but I want to hear your thoughts, Jackie. I can see that you're shaking your head. So what do you think about this?
Just be smarter. Like, I don't understand. Like, do what you do, right? But just keep it off social media. I don't understand. Like, this is one of those things. If you watch some of them old school pimp movies, it's like, don't mess with your money, girl. If he's flying you out and you know you ain't supposed to be out there, don't mess with your money. You know what I mean? You not flying out there for free. Let's just be honest. You can say it's IG model or whatever, but you coming up a little bit. So just be stupid. Don't mess up your money. Don't be all posting it all and trying to floss, because now you're gonna be you getting a little less money. And now he's calling you out. And there's just be smart about it. I don't really care what people do, but just don't mess up your money.
Don't be a
Be
liability, baby. Don't be a
Right,
liability.
that's what I'm saying. You messing it up for the next side chick, and the next, come on, girl, be better.
Do you think that he's going to receive some sort of punishment from the team? Britt, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, they're not against any of their rules, though. Like, he is not in a bubble. The MLB decided to not do a bubble, so he's not really breaking any of the rules. There's not a specific thing. Like, obviously, it's a common sense law that he broke, but there's not really a specific law that he broke, and you can't punish somebody for something that you didn't say that they couldn't do. So, no, I mean, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done it, and whatever the case is, just like the whole Lou Williams situation. Yeah, Lou probably shouldn't have stopped there, but it's not a law, so he didn't get fined or get in trouble for it. Yes, he had to quarantine a little bit longer. Maybe this guy's going to have to quarantine a little bit longer and can't rejoin his team. But as far as like getting fined or suspended or something, no, I don't think that should happen, because MLB didn't do a bubble, and they really don't have any rules for their situation for season. So that's on the MLB, to be honest.
Yep.
So
players are going to do what they do.
Yeah.
Right. Chris, do you think that he deserves to be dragged, or is he just totally in the right and it just shouldn't have been broadcast on social media?
I don't think he should be dragged. I mean, he should be dragged because he's an idiot. But I think if anybody's getting dragged, it's the girl for out here flaunting it all over social media. I'm just saying, just be prepared if you find out that Jack is the one that ends up getting COVID-19, because you're gonna get that Rudy Gobert treatment, and they're gonna put it on you, whether it is your fault or not. It's gonna be put on you because you're the one coming from the outside going in. So it's just all lack of common sense in the situation. I don't know if anybody should be getting in any kind of trouble, but yeah, dragging, I think, let them be dragged. Let the internet do what the internet does, because it's stupid. It's all stupid from all points of view.
So you heard it from Chris, you guys. Keep on dragging.
Right. Go ahead, internet.
So instead of say less, post less, my girl. Post less.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there should be an IG boot camp. Like, if you're going to be out there, one of these IG Insta, we need a boot camp for y'all, because y'all out here doing too much. You telling on Lou Williams, talking about he tips well, but then we need a side chick Insta whole boot camp.
Girl, see if he puts you next
Yeah.
time.
We need a boot camp.
Jackie, it sounds like a great business opportunity. I think that maybe you need to get on that.
Man,
you better be careful. That sounds like a new.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a new show TLC about to pick up.
Right, what we not going to do boot camp. That's what we need.
Okay, we'll get into the final need to know news story. This is all about the MVP debate and Ramona Shelburne and what she said about it. So she revealed on Tuesday that she voted for LeBron James this time around, highlighting that she chose him over Giannis and James Harden. So we have a clip of what she's saying that Leo is going to throw up right now. Leo, if it's ready to go, let me know. If not, I'll just keep on talking.
I did not vote for him for MVP. I voted for LeBron James because I tend to be more of a narrative-based voter, and I feel like LeBron James took a Lakers team that had missed the playoffs 6 years in a row up to the top spot in the West after all of the dysfunction of the summer before. So I think he gets credit for that as well.
So obviously what people have an issue with here is that she says she voted based on the narrative. And that kind of plays into this whole theory that people have that it's just a popularity contest. I know, Britt, you've talked about that quite a bit before. And Chris, I can tell that you have some thoughts about this. So I want to ask, was it dumb of her to admit that she voted for LeBron because she likes his narrative? What do you think?
Yeah, don't say it. She literally said, like, I know Giannis is having this kind of season, James Harden is playing this well, but I'm gonna go with the narrative, and I'm going with LeBron James. It just doesn't. It don't sound great. I honestly, I have no. If LeBron James gets MVP, I'm not gonna be upset about it. But when you go out blatantly and say I don't care about this and that, I'm going for this one, that it does not. It just didn't sound right, and I'm a fan of Ramona. It's just the one time it's like, that's why I'm there sitting there like cringing, like, don't say it like that though. Like, you could have said anything else in your argument. That just didn't sound right. But yeah, I don't know. I just was. I'm fine with her voting for LeBron. If he wins, he wins. But just with her admitting it like that, I don't know. Not me. I wouldn't say it like that.
It's always a popularity contest, though. There's no way James Harden won it over Giannis if it's not about a popularity contest. If you're just looking at the numbers, look, she just said it out loud, but she didn't say nothing we didn't already know. That's just people just vote off of what they like. It's not, if it just came down to numbers, we really wouldn't need them to vote in the first place. Just look at the numbers and pick that guy. You know what I mean? People vote for who they like. She just said it out loud. I'm not dragging her for that.
Yeah, I don't know. You right. You right. You right. Okay, you right.
I think that when you do verbalize that, though, the whole thing, this whole debate about it being a popularity contest can exist as this sort of like nebulous thing that people discuss. But then when you have somebody who actually voted and they admit to voting on the narrative, yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know.
But if if I had a vote, right? If I was at her status and I had a vote, and of course you've seen, who I talk about, what I focus on. Would you, just because I didn't say it, would you not know in your head that I voted for LeBron? LeBron wouldn't even be in the league and I'd still be voting for LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things that you just
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
For me, it's like the kind of thing that you do necessarily admit out loud. Like, we all know, maybe we don't admit it out loud. I think
Right, you're not wrong.
To me, it reminds me of the moments of like basketball when everybody knows in college basketball players were getting paid, money for whatever, and then Rashad McCants comes out and says, "Hey, when I was at UNC, they used to pay me, and I used to get grades, and I never had to do my schoolwork, and yada yada."
Right.
My guy, don't say it,
Don't
like in
say it. Right.
Yes, we can say it, or we understand that this is happening, but Ramona's coworkers and other people that are voting right now are looking at her like, "Don't say it.
Why are you telling them all
this?" In the process of how they do stuff.
Right.
Honestly, like this is literally showing that, like, oh, okay, this process is not being fair. This is not the way we should be doing things. And somebody just admitted that that's how they're doing it. So maybe we should take a step back and start figuring out
Right, that could put LeBron James votes now too.
That really just opened up a whole can of worms right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, Jackie. Back to your argument too. If you were to have your vote on LeBron James, you wouldn't have straight up said, like, you would have gone on a whole bunch of other things. Like, I think LeBron James opening the school, and you would have been on all those other tangents where actual things that happened. You wouldn't have straight up said what she had said. So we would know, of course, we would know, like, yeah, okay, whatever. We know you're going to vote for him because he's LeBron James. But you wouldn't have said it like the way you said it. Exactly. So I wouldn't.
I wouldn't have. But, I would have had a bunch of reasons why. I do understand what she's saying. She could have said it different. She could have said, look at where the Lakers are and look at where they are now, and you have to put that on the shoulders of LeBron, which is basically what she was saying. She just had a brain fart.
It's weird though, because that's the Bucks too. Like the Bucks have not been the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis, like he literally catapulted that team. There were several years where they didn't even make it to the playoffs, and then there are years when they finally started making it to the playoffs that they wouldn't make it out of the first round. So I feel like what he's been able to do with the Bucks, that's the same narrative, low key. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So so if you were interviewing me, Britt, you would say, well, what about Giannis? I'm a LeBron fan, so now I have to figure out a whole new way to say I don't give a damn about Giannis. I'm a LeBron fan. Why are you asking me these stupid questions? So she was just caught off guard. You know what I mean? And she just had to go with like, I don't know.
Not be.
He's LeBron.
Ramona is just a LeBron fan.
Right.
I mean, I guess either way, like what she said was what everybody already knew. But the bottom line is, it's better to leave those kinds of things unsaid. Moving forward. Yeah.
Ramona wasn't prepared, poor thing. She wasn't ready.
She used to ask the questions, not being asked questions,
exactly.
I guess.
It's time for my blurry face to wrap up Need to Know News. So,
Clear Chris.
Take it away.
Let's get to Clear Chris.
All right, we get clear post with your boy Chris. Yes, it's clear. Oh, it's still clear. Okay, let's see how long this lasts. Now we're gonna start off with Damien Lillard, Dame time, and man, he showed out over the weekend with 51 points. After that kerfuffle, I love using that word, between him and Paul George and a little bit of Patrick Beverly, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna outdo my own self. And he tied his career high in 61 points last night in the crazy back and forth game between the Blazers and the Mavericks in a win. And at the end of the game, he made sure, if you weren't already giving him his respect that he deserved, he was letting you know. And you look for every single damn camera. That was my favorite. He was looking for all the cameras. Look at him. And if you're a professional mouth reader, it's not that hard to read what he said here. Put some respect on my name. That's what I'm saying. I'm all for it. Damien Lillard, he was on one yesterday. That game was so much fun to watch. The Blazers have not had a non-entertaining, like all their games have been entertaining. Every single one of the bubble games have been entertaining. This is why they need to be in the playoffs, because I need this to continue. As much as I love the Suns, they can have the play-in game. That'd be fun, cool. But I need the Blazers to go on and play the Lakers in the playoffs. But this is not it for Dame, because someone posted this hilarious meme that had to do with Damian Lillard after the game was over. It was with Kobe peeking over the crowd, and the caption said, "Dame tomorrow in line at the buffet in the bubble, looking at PG and Pat." I was like, yes, that is perfect. I love that. Perfect picture. RFP Cole. Now, moving on from that hot team to the other hot team, the Phoenix Suns, who had one of the most adorable intros I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, it was a whole minute long, so I'm not going to show you the entire thing, but I'm going to show you my 3 favorite moments from the intro. What they did is they surprised the players as well as us watching from home. They surprised the players with intros from people that they love. Or people that are close to them and whatnot, and it started off with DeAndre Ayton, who had his little sister say his name in the starting 5, and his reaction is hilarious.
6'11" in Arizona, number 22, DeAndre Ayton.
He's like, who said that you could put my sister on that TV? Well, I didn't pass that. Anyway, so then after this is Mikal Bridges' mom. She's loving it, but I think my second favorite one was actually Ricky Rubio's, because Ricky Rubio had the squad coming in. It was his family. He had homies come in, and Ricky Rubio. It was a really cool moment. So this next one was Ricky Rubio's his video.
At guard.
6 from Spain. Ricky.
Oh.
Now I love Ricky Rubio. Yeah, I love that. But I have to give my, if you know me, I gotta give my little shade to Ricky Rubio. That is the most Ricky Rubio jerseys I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyways, moving on to the last but not least. All of Ricky Rubio, you're playing great this year. But last but not least, I love this moment. Now, for those who may or may not know the story with Devin Booker, he made friends with in my opinion, his super fan, his biggest fan of all time. Her name is Jenna, and she had the honors to bring in Devin Booker into the game, and she was so excited to do it. She was a little nervous, but she did so good with it, and Devin Booker's reaction to it was awesome too. So here's Jenna bringing in Devin Booker.
Guard. 6 feet, 5 inches. Of 10 cookies. Number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, she's Devin Booker's super fan. There's a whole story that they had. It was like his rookie year he met her. So the fact that all the way up until now, when they're playing well, she was there when they were bad. They're doing good now. She gets the nod to give him that. So it was just an adorable moment. The whole thing was great. And then Monty Williams was the last one where his family coming in. If you know Monty Williams' story, it's just touching to see that too. It's just it made you feel things like I was there like trying that Shannon Sharp meme where you say like. We used to like trying to that was how I was feeling watching that thing. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. And what was great too is in normal Phoenix Suns, like in the past they might have fumbled this one a little bit. They would have had that cool intro and then end up losing the game by 30 points. Nah. Bubble Suns stayed on brand, and they went out and blew out the Thunder after that amazing intro. So maybe that, like we were talking about with families coming to the bubble, maybe that's all they need is just a little TLC from their families and people close to them. Because even though they've been playing hot, they took that energy all the way through and won by like 22 points. So love that. And sticking to family, we are going to Daddy Russ, who had a play date with his son when they both had their Toy Story Woody toys, and they both had their matching toys, and they were having fun. And Russell Westbrook posted this to his IG with the caption, "Missing my man." And it's look at his little twin right there, looking just like him with both of their Woody toys, having fun. So that was a dope moment, man. All these damn family moments, yo. Like, but like we said, right around the corner, family's gonna be in. He's gonna be able to have his boy with him along the rest of the playoff run. So that'd be dope for him. I'm sure he's excited about that. All right, this next one. All right, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's me. But we had Taco Fall on Post Up already before for the same reason. We called him Taco Woods because we were also like not us, but they were. Hyping him up that he had this great swing and blah, 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 blah. But we saw the video. We slowed it down. Our man Leo freeze framed it to where the ball was not going straight. It was going towards the right. And I'm just not convinced that Taco Fall is this great golfer that everybody's trying to egg him on to be. Well, Mo Bamba posted a video of Taco hitting another golf ball once again. Now, mind you, it does go towards the hole, but it does not look good getting there. So here's that video, and I'll let you guys decide. Please keep close contact to the ball.
All right, TikTok. Take 2.
I'll love the taco. I'm just saying. Shank.
Okay.
So it landed where it was supposed to land. You know, and even he's like, hey, it worked, kind of thing. I don't know, man. And the caption was, "This is a swing to behold," kind of thing. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But look, you got the job done, Taco. What do I know? Your swing looks way better than Charles Barkley's anyway. So you know what? Do your thing, Taco. You picking it up, and you know anything Taco Fall does, I'm a fan of. So whatever. But yeah, he hit it on and he did his thing. Mo Bamba in the background giving us some commentary. So thanks, Mo Bamba. Now, another duo that we have shown quite a few times on Post Up throughout the entire quarantine has been the Klay Thompson and Rocco Thompson duo. And Rocco Thompson has shown that he is the world's best trainer up to this point, and he is not disappointing because he is putting his whole body on the line to make sure that his Pops is able to get the right workout in, and this is it right here where you saw Klay Thompson do some curls with Rocco, pretty much with Rocco his entire body weight. Look at Rocco go. Keep pulling that.
6, 7,
That's so cute.
9, 10.
Rocco big too, man.
Go off.
Yeah, there you go. I'm telling you, Rocco, the best trainer in the league right now, man. If Klay Thompson come back and he, gets right back to form or plays even better than he was before, which is hard to do because Klay Thompson's been really good. We gonna put that on Rocco. We can't put that on Klay Thompson or the doctor. No, we putting that on Rocco. If Klay Thompson comes back being at an elite level, that is all thank you to Rocco Thompson. Now, all right, guys, I need you guys to sit down and prepare yourself because what I have next for you is a very weird sight. It's weird. It's so weird. When I saw it, I didn't understand what I was looking at. So just prepare yourself, guys. Oh, the Patriots. They released pictures of their, team in their new jerseys and all this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Cam Newton in a Patriots uniform. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know what it is about it that's just off to me. Maybe it's the fact that he's just in another uniform, but like you got this one, you got the full body right here. It just looks weird. Hair side, I know y'all. I can hear Britt and Jackie cringing with the hair, like hair side, like the jersey too. Just it's weird. How does See,
it doesn't look real. It looks like some sort of early Halloween costume. It doesn't look right. It's just ugh.
Honestly, him and then Jason Witten in the Raiders jersey, it's just it's so
weird.
Like
weird.
I don't know. It's so weird. It's just weird. It kind of makes me uncomfortable.
I definitely would like to see, but it just
one where you just put the head on the jersey like everyone does with Giannis in a Warriors jersey. It feels like that. Like.
Mm-hmm. But this one was real. This is not a Photoshop. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna take some time to get used to. I don't like it. But hey, hopefully he plays well enough so he can get a good job somewhere else and not with the Patriots again the following year. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm sorry I did that to you guys. I know you guys. Hopefully you guys can stop cringing a little bit now. It's over. I apologize to do that to y'all. That was weird. But last not least, we're going back to our good friend TikTok before TikTok is officially taken off of all of your phones. I do have a really dope TikTok that was done by these two kids that were using their quarantine time very, very well. Like it was a dope project that these two guys did, emulating someone shooting a basketball. And here it is right here. This is really cool. So check this out. Look at this.
Cool. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you guys can read it. It said it took us 5 days in 95-degree weather to make this. And they killed it. It's dope.
You don't know if you can read it?
I don't know if people can see it. I don't know how small it is.
Not be able to read that.
I don't know if it's too small on y'all screens. I don't know.
It's too small.
Look. I'm just trying to help.
Can you see it? That's the bigger question.
Barely. This took.
Stop it, Chris. Stop it right now.
I also love the perfect detail where they added the bottom of the what's it called? The bottom of the pole for the hoop, and the ball bounced away, and then they had to go chase after it. Like that's the perfect detail because, like I said, these are kids in the neighborhood playing the game, and everyone knows that that's like the worst part of it. You can make a shot all you want, but the minute it hits the bottom of the hoop, like watch it come up, boom, that thing's gone. You have to go chase and not get run over by a car to get your ball back. Yeah, that hurts, man. It's real, but yeah, I love that. they had a lot of time, a lot of free time. But I mean, when it's the quarantine is that hot outside, and you're the kid that's doing all the artwork, you're getting blasted by a hose. Like it's whatever. Like you're probably enjoying it. So shout out to them. Yeah, hopefully you guys can get that on another platform because TikTok ain't gonna be there for much longer. But anyways, on that note, I'm out. I'm done with the post stuff.
Is that official? Because I haven't been on TikTok since Britt told us the China thing. So is that official? Is it like going away?
No.
Like forever?
Well, there's rumors.
Well, they actually cannot legally take away TikTok. What they can do is put a bunch of things on TikTok to make it for other people to do business with TikTok. So then eventually it would kind of just, it's too expensive for us to, have our stuff here in America. So we're just not going to have TikTok here. But they can't legally remove the app, just like they can't remove any crazy porn sites that show even little kids doing stuff. They can't legally remove that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, like Instagram doing what they do, they stole it anyway. So now there's the IG Reels right now on Instagram. That's the exact same thing. And there's the talks of Microsoft. They did. They took the stories from Snapchat. They taking everything.
IG stories. They stole their original. Remember Vine? Vine happened, and then that's when IG started doing videos because IG used to just be pictures.
Because of Vine. So that's facts.
IG is just at the people should just sell ideas to IG because they're going to steal it anyway. Just at least make some money from it.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, Jackie. Well, now can you tell us what we not gonna do? Yeah.
I was waiting for the swipe. There it is. Leo, where you at? So yesterday we talked, and Chris, Devin, and Britt seemed a little disappointed that I would have done exactly what Dame's sister did. Just not for sure, but maybe, because sometimes I'm just petty like that. But I do think it's cute that the men can always, this has been my whole entire life, I have literally seen men have physical fights and brawls, and then, hey, you want to go have a beer, and then can hash it out over a beer and legit be cool after that. I don't think us ladies can do that. But Paul George did reach out to Damien Lillard. He got his phone number and he called him, and the two apparently hashed it out. I did find it funny that a lot of the articles said, Paul George hashed it out with Damien Lillard after Dame's sister and Paul George's wife. It's not his wife, it's his baby's mama. It's a different title, but I appreciate what you guys are trying to say there. But they apparently hashed it out. They called each other. They talked. Apparently, there's absolutely no bad blood, and everything is all good. So that little meme of Kobe popping up at the lunch line isn't actually going to be a thing. Chris, are you surprised that these two could hash it out? Do you believe that the air is completely clear, or what do you think?
No, this does not surprise me at all. Like I said, there was no ill will outside of being two dudes being competitive. Nothing was said out of pocket from either of those players. They were just talking about their game moments. So yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all that they both hash it out. And it won't surprise me again when they have another moment, because that's just how, competitive hoopers are. We talked about it. We got Dame from Oakland. That's just how he is. He's going to be friends with you right now, but the minute that you come across him on the court, he don't know who you are. And that's just how Dame is. So yeah, no, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And yeah, cool. Good on both of them.
Britt, do you think that since Dame's sister kind of the one that took it there, that maybe Dame should have reached out, or does it matter? One of them was going to reach out eventually anyway.
I don't think it matters because, I think it's fine that Paul George did, because Paul George technically did start the whole entire thing. So I think he was just going to social media even after, I think, was the start of everything. Because whatever they say on the court is what they say on the court. But I think because Paul George took it to social media after, it is right that he apologizes first, even though Dame's sister kind of came back and took it out of basketball, but it already was taken low-key out of basketball when they took it to social media. So that's what I want to say about that. I just think it's it is what it is. Yeah. It's not, because even
this fire.
Huh?
I hope this quenches some of his fire. There's nothing to be mad about, Dame. Just in case you face my Lakers, just remember.
Somebody else.
There's nothing to be mad about.
I know he's been getting into it with Skip Bayless and stuff. And last night, Skip Bayless tweeted, he was like, Dame,
good game, Dame.
He said good game, Dame. Yep.
Yeah, well, this morning I woke up to the thing that said Skip was like, "Oh, good game, Dame," and Dame said "FUUB," and I was like, oh, "Okay."
Was that real? I saw that too. Was that real?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
That was. I sent it
Dame.
to you so you could put it in post up, and then you didn't put it in post
I saw
up.
it, but I didn't think it was real. Oh, I love it. Sorry, I didn't know it was real. Oh, hell yeah. Go ahead, Dame. Keep talking. Keep going.
They mad. So,
it.
like, I guess, Devin, we are still in trouble. That's probably why you blurry, because as Laker fans, everything's blurry. Our future is not bright right now. So that's probably why Devin's sitting over here blurry. But let me move on to Giannis right now, because you guys know I think that Giannis basically stole the MVP nod from James Harden last season. I like Giannis. I think he's very likable. I think he's just a fun guy to watch. He's very happy and he's upbeat. And I think that's why he won more than anything. I know I'm not taking any of his talent away from him, but we just said, I personally think it's more of it's a popularity contest. I've always thought that. And I like Giannis, but now I kind of low key love Giannis. I think I'm going to have to put Giannis on my short list of people that I will watch while I'm waiting for Bronny to come to the league, if LeBron should leave before he does, because you guys also know how I used to play basketball. So if you watched last night's Bucks game, there was a situation between Giannis and Mo Wagner, and then Mo Wagner had the block. They slapped Giannis with the personal foul or the offensive foul. Mo Wagner, I don't know what he said to Giannis, but he's walking towards Giannis and he's clearly saying something. The commentator sees it and he says, Mo Wagner has a way of getting under your skin. And then the next thing I know, Giannis headbutt Mo Wagner and gets ejected from the game. I understand that this was a horrible thing for Giannis to do, but I low-key love him for it, because this is like the definition of what we not going to do. What we not going to do is you walk over to me after you know that I should have this foul and be talking stuff to me. I'm going to try not, I don't want to hit you because people are going to see my hand go, but my head just happens to be right here. I'm just going to use my head like he thought it through. I actually kind of like this, but he did apologize, sort of. He said, quote, "Usually I just try to stay focused, finish the game, don't do something stupid. But there's always times when you're in the zone. Just like you don't think, it may take a second or two that you don't think, and then something dumb happens." So that is okay, Giannis. That was okay. I don't know what Mo Wagner said to you, but I have a feeling, since everybody knows how annoying he is, that he probably said something off the wall. Does this change your thought process about Giannis in any way, Devin? I know he has this good guy image, like everything is always coming up roses for him, but the fact that he went out and headbutted Mo, does it change your perception of him at all? Devin, are you on mute? If you are on mute, take your mute button off.
It's Leo. Leo, unmute me, please.
There you go.
I'm not muting myself. Anyway,
gotcha.
It doesn't change my perception of Giannis. I think that he's still this good-natured, likable guy, but I do think that something, whatever Mo said got to him. I also think that probably the stress and pressure of the bubble got to him a little bit, and it surprised me, but it also surprised him, because I think in that post-game interview, he also was like, if I could go back in time and change my actions, I would. He felt really remorseful about it. I think he was shocked by that, physical aggression as well, but I still think he's the nice guy. I don't think that he's suddenly no longer that person anymore.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit out of character.
Never really been that nice.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Giannis hasn't always been that nice. People forget about what happened with the Bulls. What's his face? Mike Dunleavy, when he charged into him and got ejected for that too. Do you remember that, Chris?
Yeah.
Giannis had moments where he'll be real nice, but if he gets mad, he will literally physically put his hands on you, and we've seen that before. He has streaks of niceness, and then he'll once he turns it on, he's going for blood. He will literally hurt somebody. He does that. It's once a year, once every 2 years, Giannis is going to attack somebody. So this just,
I think that's good. I think you need to.
100%.
You need to have those once in a while moments that people know what time it is. You ain't just gonna come over here and always get the Mr. Rogers neighborhood theme song. I'll DMX your behind in a minute. I think people need to know that about you.
Right. And in the Denver situation, like he literally said after, just like, man, F him. He never apologized, never said anything. F him. Like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I don't care. Like,
I
he's
love
a
that
savage.
about because he didn't.
You want to play nice, but if you turn on him, like Jackie said, he's coming. He got to let you know he ain't about that stuff. He's gonna come for you.
And he didn't like apologize about this. He just kind of said, you know, I wish I could have been out there with my team. I wish I had done things differently, you know, so I could be out there with my team. He didn't say, Mo Wagner, I'm sorry for the headbutt. That's not what he said at all. So I actually really like this part of Giannis. And I wouldn't mind seeing it if Britt said, if we could see it once a year, I mean, if you don't want to do it, you know, don't be like Russell Westbrook where you walk in and you just tell some fan that you slapped, you know what I mean? But maybe once a year, just let us know who you are, Giannis, because I'm actually a fan.
Like, we always forget that, like, Giannis is like this because he does it. He, like, spreads it out, like, every couple of years and, like, something happens and then we're like, oh, but yeah, he done that a couple times though, like, you know, but then he'll just turn on like, this nice guy thing, like, I want Russell Westbrook and Damien Lillard to be on the same team so we can all be friends again, you know? Like, I'm going to pick both of them if I can. But then turns around and does this kind of stuff again. We're like, wait a second. He's like a Sour Patch Kid. He's legit.
He's a Sour Patch.
I love that. You're right, because I legit until this morning, until you just said it, I was like, oh yeah, this Giannis has done this before, you know? But I love it. It's kind of.
Wasn't that other instance? Wasn't that like 5 years ago? He really does spread it out. What I thought it was in 2015 when he had that other headbutting incident. It seems like or whatever it was that happened.
I think the Dunleavy one was in 2016. I don't remember because
but it was.
I just remember like I like literally didn't even think about. We were think right now, and it's just like. I feel like Giannis has done this a couple times before. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like we've had situations where
the Lakers too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. That's probably why he plays up the good guy. He plays up that good guy personality so much in between each moment of aggression. So then we're like, we forget about it.
You forget.
And then when it comes out, it's like he's really good at covering it up.
That's smart. That's smart. You guys
were like, wait a second.
You guys know I watch the current. That's what you need. You need, when something goes down, you need people to say, oh, that's outside of his character. You need character witnesses. So you need to spread it out. Make something go down. All right, that's all I got for what we're not going to do.
Like things that have happened every 5 years where you've done something.
Right.
Been in prison now 7 times in the last 30 years. But you have a lot of people from the last 2 years that said you would change.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not getting that because somebody in the chat just said that I'm violent as F. So I don't think I'm violent as hell. I just got plans. That's it. I just got plans. Don't make me enact a plan. That's it. All right, that's all I got. So, Chris, are you ready? Because now it's time for Britt's Takes.
Britt's Takes.
Well, speaking of plans, guys, practice is set to kick off for football. Most teams are going to be starting their regular practice with their full rosters on Friday. A couple of teams are starting on Saturday, I believe, but most teams are scheduled to start on Friday, including my Dallas Cowboys. And they're going to actually be doing things a little bit different from a lot of other teams, but not too different from what they're used to doing in the past. So as we know, training camp, like I said before, has kind of always been somewhat of a bubble, you know, for NFL. NFL teams usually, especially the Dallas Cowboys, they actually travel to Oxnard, California instead of doing it in Dallas, and they have their training camp here. Stay in some resident inns there, and the whole team stays there. Training facility or trainers, staff, coaches, everybody stays there, and they literally are walking distance to their practice fields. Obviously, what's going to be mostly different now is the fact that fans are going to be there. Like, I always went to Dallas Cowboys training camp. They have bleachers there where you can sit and just hang out and watch your team practice in the hot blazing sun, right? So usually training camp is very much so in a bubble. The players are not allowed to leave. I remember doing stories about some bottom tier players literally getting kicked off the team from inviting a girl into their bubble or trying to leave the bubble. They immediately get kicked off the team. The bubble, I mean, as training camp. For trying to do that, they get kicked off the team. So the NFL has always done a bubble. However, this upcoming season, all the teams were told that they cannot leave. They have to do their training at their home facilities, so their home practice field. So most teams are doing it in a way that they are just letting players come in and leave and go home for the day and stay at home. The Dallas Cowboys have been one of, I believe, a total of 3 teams, really 2 teams that are actually really doing this, that has said that they will be holding their training camp in a bubble. So all the players are going to be staying at the Omni Hotel, which is in the Star. So they're going to all be staying there and going to practice. It's technically not mandatory, but as of today, almost every single player has checked in. The rookies have been there for 3 weeks now. All the coaches are doing it, trainers are doing it, and other essential personnel are all doing it. And it's not mandatory, but the Cowboys were like, as a team, they were like, listen, if we want our season to be great, we don't want any of our teammates to get COVID. We don't want to get COVID ourselves and end up messing up the season for what could be. I say this every year. I know people are going to say Cowboys could win it all this season. You guys,
Oh God!
As a Cowboys fan, I just have to say it. But right now we have three receivers that are scheduled to get 1,000 yards each. You know, we have a good run game. Dak's back. Our defense has improved in this offseason. So obviously, I say it every year. As a Cowboys fan, it's only right that I say every year that we have a chance to win. But the Cowboys really are going in with that mentality this season because they are deciding to all come together in this bubble, even though it's not mandatory. I can't say the same for a lot of other organizations. If they had a not mandatory thing, that they would actually have the players all decide to be in a bubble and make themselves in a bubble and be away from their family and friends to make sure the season goes off without a hitch. Obviously, we just talked about the Cardinals pitcher who literally didn't care about his teammates and invited a girl to his hotel. So I think it's great that the Cowboys have decided to come together and do this. The other team I wanted to mention that is doing what they call a soft bubble is the New Orleans Saints. So I know we have 2 Saints fans on the panel. Sean Payton said that they're going to do a soft bubble. Their rookies have kind of obviously been practicing that the last couple weeks as well. We all remember Sean Payton was the first coach to test positive. So obviously he takes this very serious. He wants to make sure all of his team is there. However, Drew Brees and Cameron Jordan both opted out of the bubble. They said they will not be joining their teammates in the bubble. But other than that, most of the staff has already checked in. Most of their players have already checked in. I think it's very sad that one of the leaders of the offense and one of the leaders of the defense both decided that they're not going to join their team in the bubble. I think it kind of says a lot. Cam Jordan is one of my favorite players. I've loved him from the beginning. So back when he was at Cal, he's been great for a long time to me. I love Cameron Jordan, but I do feel like, it kind of sucks that you're not joining your team. Drew Brees, it kind of sucks that your quarterback is not joining the team. But obviously, I think it's great that they're having this bubble. However, I think I don't know what good it does. Obviously, it does good to start up the season because obviously we're not doing preseason for NFL this year. So the training camp is just going to consist of training camp. But then as we get to week 1, players are going to have to travel. They're going to be more vulnerable and susceptible to getting it at that point. They're going to be playing all these other teams who have not done a bubble thing. And the NFL really still hasn't put in too many protocols to make sure all the players and staff are safe, especially when it comes to once season starts. So yes, I think it's great that the Cowboys and the Saints have decided to do some type of bubble because obviously we've seen what's happened with the MLB not bubble and having, 15 plus players on 3 to 4 teams now that have tested positive and having to cancel games or postpone games because of it. Obviously, the NFL, you can't as easily cancel and postpone games because there's one game a week. There's one you play once a week. It's not like, oh, well, we could just push this game back a day and do back-to-back games. You can't do back-to-back with football. You just can't. The players literally even have trouble playing if they have a Sunday night game and then have to play on Thursday that week. They've complained about that and how hard that is on their bodies. So you can't really postpone football games like that. Like, you can't decide like, oh, we'll just do a back-to-back like they can in baseball or in basketball for that matter. So obviously I think it's even more dire to make sure that, like, if we're going to have a football season, it needs to be a full football season and it needs to be ready to go like come week 1. And it's honestly kind of sad that the teams have decided to take it upon themselves to put themselves in a bubble. And I commend all the players that have decided to join the bubble because it's not mandatory because the league hasn't made the bubble mandatory. But I think it's great. I'm so proud of my Cowboys player for taking the initiative, and because really it was the players that actually came up with the idea. A lot of them prior to practice starting on Friday had already checked themselves in to Omni or whatever to join their rookies who were already staying there. So the Cowboys organization decided to obviously cover the expenses for the players to now have training camp and a place for the players to stay there. But players were checking themselves in on their own accord, paying for their rooms themselves at the beginning. So it's dope. Shout out to my Cowboys. We don't always have the greatest things when we're talking about the organization, but this is one of the great things that I can mention about the Cowboys. Obviously, I hope other teams decide to do that heading into training camp this weekend. But my biggest question is, what is going to happen once season starts? Chris, I know you are a Saints fan. What did you think about your team doing the bubble, but then some of your top players deciding not to go? Do you think that it reflects leadership in this situation?
Normally I would say no. Normally I think because of who the two players are and Cam Jordan and Drew Brees are, I wouldn't really be too worried about it because Cam Jordan's going to come back in that locker room and he's going to have the defense listen to him regardless. And normally I would say the same thing about Drew Brees, but we remember the events that went on with Drew Brees, so I'm still in question of how that's all going to be, even though players have, have forgiven him and whatnot and blah, 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 blah. I still feel like they need to get on the field and see how it would feel, how their feelings are around Drew Brees in a football setting. So with him missing out, and I think I understand why, family and blah, 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 but whatever. But with him missing out, that only pushes my Jameis narrative just a little bit more, just a tad bit more, because now Jameis is going to get that head start. We'll see what happens. I don't think that they're going to go. I don't think they're going to go. I really don't believe that they're going to go on and sit Drew Brees after everything happened. I feel like everyone's already forgotten about it, unfortunately. But in that same breath, at least Jameis Winston will have that head start where he will be prepared if there is a situation with come injury because Drew Brees is old or something else happens. I'm happy with this. As far as the leadership part, I'm not worried about Cam Jordan losing any ears on the defensive side. They're going to listen to Cam Jordan whether he was there or not. He's going to come back. He's going to have the locker room all over again. And maybe the same will happen for Drew Brees. So I think we'll be okay, personally. But I'm also happy with it because I want Jameis Winston to get that extra work.
Mm-hmm. Jackie, with Drew Brees, do you think if he would have decided to opt in, it would have shown his teammates that, hey, I am here with you guys, and it would have actually been a better situation for him to opt into that moment because he could have proven that, like, I'm standing with you guys, not just race-wise, but, as a team, instead of him thinking he's above people possibly?
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I thought. I follow him on it. I unfollowed him for a while, and then I went back to see what he was doing, and he's been doing a lot as far as, like, y'all know I'm petty, so I definitely unfollowed him. But now I'm like our Fumble fans are like, I'm unsubscribing, and then a week later they come back. So I pulled the Fumble fan thing and came back. But he has been doing a lot as far as like that community. He's very centered on the New Orleans community. He's been giving a lot. He just gave, I want to say, $5 million to an inner city school in New Orleans, and he's really been doing a lot to try to. I don't want to say to try to make amends for this nonsense that he said, because he's always done a lot as far as that community specifically.
I was going to say,
but I think he definitely has been a little bit more, because he has done stuff kind of behind the scenes. And if you're in New Orleans, you knew he did it, but maybe if you didn't. So he's been putting it out on social media more. So I definitely think he's trying to make it known that he does care. But I still think that there's that disconnect that he hasn't really atoned for yet. He still has that mindset of, no, the flag is important. You know, the my grandfathers who fought for it were important, and he still hasn't grasped onto the, we as Black people are fighting an entirely different battle. So I think he needed to seize this moment and go into battle with them. I get it. He's a father. He definitely dotes on his kids, especially on his social media. And I get why you might say now is not the right time, but he definitely missed a moment to be like, okay, you know what? We're going to fight through this together, and I'm going to lead us through this fight. So he missed that moment. I get that he's trying to atone, but this would have been a slam dunk if he'd have done it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it was a missed opportunity, but I mean, it's Drew Brees, and he's had that city on his back for over a decade now. So we'll see how their season ends up, and if they can win the NFC South, we shall see.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Well,
I'm done.
Thank you so
I was
much
just saying on my jacket for a second. I was like, I'm done.
All right, you guys. Thank you for that take, Britt. And as usual, we'll be back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you tune in. You can tap the bell so you get a notification when we go live. Subscribe, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends. Wash your hands. Be nice. You know, do a good deed for someone today. I don't know, you guys. Let's just
ID model.
Cowboys.
Stay quiet.
And go Clippers and go Dodgers. And
go Lakers.
And go Sparks.
IG models. Stay quiet. Say less. Ooh, yeah. Trying to help them get their